We have something brand new from the Spectrum Noir people, and I'll tell you in one word, it's metallic. Wow.
They're metallic pens. There are 2 sets, double tipped, and wait till you see what you can do with them.
Come play with us. Well, here they are, and I have to tell you, this is another product like our triple finish, but this has been in development for I think 2 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So
well, they came out with some beautiful colors in here. So it's a great product.
So this is the precious metals, and there are 6, as you can see, copper, silver, beautiful gold,
bronze, absolutely beautiful. And then this is sort of a gem tone that they're called rare minerals. Right. So you've got all these great colors. Now each one of these is double tipped. So at each end you've got a tip, you've got a fine tip on one end, and at the other end you've got a flexible brush tip. These are water-based, acid-free, and archival, and what I like about that being water-based is that you can actually blend them with water.
Ah, nice to know. Now, as beautiful as they are, and we'll show you in a minute, we also have things from the Spectrum Noir folks in their colorista line of what can you do with them. And they are stunning on black.
Oh, sure.
So what they've done is, this is the floral bouquet, and these are, there you can know, this
so
is
got embossing on there.
Right, it's a raised UV.
Raised embossing, and you can go ahead and color individually in those little areas, but you're going to want to be sure to wipe off the color off of the embossing if you want the embossing to show. And you can do that with just a little bit of water or a baby wipe, whatever you prefer.
So let's show you, I think it was, well, let's see, one of them.
Somewhere in there.
Somewhere in there, okay. So on these, actually it's the very first one, there are 16 sheets. They are 6 by 6, and they are all have this UV raised coating that's shiny and then on black. So we've got this one, and
this one is just the floral bouquet, and then you have Victorian steampunk. So same idea, but of course you've got these great Victorian images in there, Victorian steampunk images. It's a little difficult for me to show you here, but we do have samples. So there's some nice clocks on there and some other images. You're going to see those on the product website as well. And I love the tags too. I just want to say there's this great little book of tags.
It's really cute.
And each one of them has all of these really, really great images, and you're going to see some of those. Be sure to check out the product videos for those.
And just so you know, in addition, because they work so beautifully on black, there is a pack of 9 by 12 black cardstock, and there's 30 sheets in here, and so it's just really
this is going to be great for stamping on, stamping and embossing. You want to get some nice white or colored embossing and then color them in. That would really be great too.
Yeah, I mean, we want to show you the pens because they're marvelous, but we also want to show you what you can do with them. So we'll get started with this. Now, as you recall, that was the first sheet of the floral bouquet, so you can turn this into this, and wow.
Isn't that beautiful? So it's such a beautiful look, and Debbie just did that by coloring in and actually blending a little bit with a baby wipe. So I pulled in one of them, and this is a different look, but you can start, and I'm going to start by, let's see, let me show you. So there's your fine tip. So if you use that, actually let me pull this in first to show you. So I did a little bit of playing to show you can actually use that fine tip to get a really nice look. So here you go, you've got a really fine look like that, or you can go to the brush tip and really make some nice words or lettering, or I can turn that into love with a double L at the beginning. And then you can also use to color in. So this was a stamped image, and you can just color that in. It's going to go right on top of the stamping, so you're going to want to color in between the lines. But I actually use this one and blend a little. I'm going to show you that in a little bit.
Okay, so let's go back to this.
Okay.
And you're saying that she did some blending.
Right, she started by coloring. So here I am with my brush tip, and I'm going to go ahead and...
You're going right over the top.
I'm going right over the top, and I'm going to color this whole leaf. Let me just go ahead and color that in. But you see I went right over that embossing on there.
And I'm shocked.
And Debbie went back after she colored that in, and she blended it or remove. You can either blend or remove that the color from the top of the embossing with a baby wipe. So I'm just going to sort of lightly start moving. And if I just go a little bit, I think if I were to let it dry a little bit and then do this, it would probably work just on that area and remove it from the embossing. I'm going to get a clean area and keep working on it. And I'm finding that it's sort of removing the background too. So I think she must have waited until it dried a little bit and then removed it. But she also, because she started right in this area, she also sort of moved it out toward those outer areas and then did the next layer around it and then blended out, you know.
Because it's water-based, you could do that moving.
Sure.
Very pretty, very pretty.
So pretty.
Nice, very nice. So taking the piece of the cardstock that's got the image, do the coloring and then putting it on your card front and adding, of course, some dazzles.
So just
will be
cutting
nice.
it to fit your card front. I like that look.
So I like it. And so you've got the colors, but in order to do the blending, you can do that with the baby wipe or water brush.
Yeah. Sure.
Now here is another. Now this time, this design was colored and cut out. And look at the border, how fun that is.
That is
beautiful. Do the coloring on it.
So yeah, do the coloring and then just cut in little strips like that. And this one, again, it's just going to be something, I've got a water brush here.
Okay.
So you can totally use a water brush as well. And so if I start with that brush tip, if I color in just one of these petals, so I'm going to color in the lines there, and I can leave it dark like that, or I can just color a little bit and then use the water brush to move that around, just like so.
So then you can get different shades.
Different levels of intensity. So you can do that, you can just use a little bit. You can also sort of remove it from the edges of the embossing, just like so. That's going to take it off of the embossing.
Nice,
so,
okay.
beautiful.
Now I do have one, so we did a little bit of the floral bouquet. This is the Victorian one, and you can see, so we've got several designs here. We've got the clocks, a couple of them. We've got these pipes that are fun.
It is fun.
And we've put it on the hammered gold. So these have been rectangle cut out and then the circles cut and layered, as you can see. Very fun.
It is. It's
Very
a nice
neat.
look. I like being able to do all of these different areas and then just cutting them out.
Yes, I like seeing that metallic, and nice to have that. This is out of the metals, and then also some of the color in there, just a little bit of
and
the
then just
tints.
a little bit of using your water brush or a paintbrush just to remove a little bit of the color to get some shadows in there. And I like that all of those metals are all in one set too. You've got all of those all in one set.
So this is copper, silver, pewter, gold, bronze, and a gold nugget.
Gold nugget.
Yeah,
Fun.
very good. Now here is another where again two have been put together, and you can see the gears in the back and that very fun hat.
Right, steampunk hat.
Yeah.
So the background has all been colored separately. This one was done separately and then cut out and placed on top of it.
Some of the mocha ripple
adds to
holographic.
that perfectly.
Now you can do all of that coloring. You can also color in dazzles, and look how pretty that is.
So this has been used with that black black paper. So here we go. That big. You've got 30 pages of that 9 by 12 paper. And by the way, these are also great for the Spectrum Noir metallic pencils. They're going to show up nicely on here.
So there you go, and isn't that stunning?
It is.
Very fun.
Look at that, very simple. There's your flower. Just choose you want the brush tip or the fine tip, and just start coloring in those areas. And you don't have to blend these at all. You can just color them in and have fun with it. I like that idea. Plus, it's not going to stick, I think, too much to the dazzles. You can just brush that off with a little wet
because it's water.
Something like that. It's going to come right off.
So how fun is that? And you're going to get some very intense colors and beautifully done. Very, very fun. Now, scrapbookers, this is for you. And let me see here. I've got this 12 by 12 page. Now, we're going into those tags, and I have to tell you, when the samples arrived, my granddaughter, Penelope, and I and Lori at the front desk were coloring. Yes, that's what we were doing.
Was that what you were doing?
That's what we were doing. Well, we have to test the product, to understand how it's working. But look How fun. These are not ones that she did, but we did pre-test these for you, so they're perfectly good.
But they those have a sort of a nautical theme, and the tags themselves, they have a kind of a range of what you're going to see. So there are florals, there's a seahorse, so you're getting like a cross, you're getting florals and you're getting seascapes and sort of background images. Right. Lots of different things in there. I love that they're already tag shaped. They're ready to go. You've got this nice little hole at the top, and they're really fun to color in.
And there are 32 tags in that,
right.
So you can see. So we elected to do the nautical on this page, and very fun
I think
to see
Debbie
them.
had a blast just coloring those in.
She did too.
And I think the pictures of her granddaughter there are just perfect that go with that. That is so
my goodness. Okay, so there you go. Very fun way to use them. So as we said, we have something new, brand new, and
reach and grab those great new markers. I hope that they listen to your suggestion.
And this is great. So I wanted to bring them to you absolutely first.